Hello, everybody. Andrew Blake from the digitalaudiomanual.com. And today I want to show you a few of the ways you can get the stiffness out of your MIDI performances in Cubase. The ability to create your own custom groove is such an interesting and unique option, and many times can provide the exact solution when you're trying to find some kind of grid to fix the timing on your current song. For example, if I have tracks like these, currently they're quantized to an 1/8 note resolution. But if I take my guitar and simply play along, creating a palm mute audio example that matches this current MIDI, something like this. Although it's in time with the current MIDI, it has all the elements of a human feel because I'm playing it with kind of a swing and definitely I'm moving a little bit on and off the grid, which just happens automatically from an actual human performance. If I take out a single bar of this audio guide that I just created, moving it onto its own track, I'm going to bounce the audio so it is just a self-contained single measure. If I now open this audio into the sample editor, go to the tab on the left that says hit points, and then moving down that list, there's a specific option that says groove. If I go up to the top where the quantize panel is, I'm going to see the button that allows me to open it up for editing, and I hit the down arrow for the presets. At the bottom of the list, Cubase has now created this new groove from my audio performance. With that selected, I can now take all of these MIDI parts and simply hit this Apply Quantize button. If you watch closely, you're going to see all of this MIDI data shift a little bit in different directions. And when I play all this MIDI data now, I have this great little shuffle feel that Cubase has extracted from my audio and applied it to this MIDI. If we open up any particular MIDI track and change our quantize back to a simple 1/8 note, we can see that all kinds of variations have been added to these individual notes. Some of these notes are behind the beat. Some of these notes are now in front of the beat. By simply creating your own individual quantize, you capture the exact feel that you're going for, and Cubase can use that information and adjust all your MIDI parts accordingly. So dealing with orchestral instruments sometimes has its own set of challenges. If I take this MIDI violin part, I'm going to render it off to audio. Let's go over here on the right and increase this wave so we can see it. If I put my cursor right here, which is kind of the downbeat, look how far that wave is before the actual peak starts to hit. There's a significant delay, if you look at the MIDI note, between when that MIDI note is actually struck when that peak from the audio actually kind of kicks in. One of the recent features we've been given in the new expression maps, if I go to the tab that says expression map, hit the plus sign, and import the key switches. If I open this expression map up, there's an area down here that says MIDI Modifiers, and in there is a slot that says attack compensation. Right now it shows 3 dots, and if I use my mouse, I can start spinning that up by milliseconds. Let's take it all the way up to 100 milliseconds. I'm going to render off the audio again. When I move my cursor now to the beginning of this MIDI note, look where the peak of this audio has now moved. Originally, it was way over here on the right. Now, for the most part, it's right at the beat. Sometimes, even when you have your attack compensation set, due to latency in your system, or just the way MIDI responds in general, the best approach to capture the most realism you can is to simply play the parts and record them as audio. Cubase contains some real aids to make performance simpler, so you don't necessarily have to have some of the keyboard skills you may think is necessary. For the most part, if you can keep a decent rhythm, Cubase can help get you the rest of the way there. If you're going to begin the process of trying to capture and record the audio from your VST instrument, first of all, name your VST instrument so it's easy to identify. In this case, I'm just going to call this Record Violins, and then create an audio track. We're going to use this to capture the recording. On your input routing, look for the instrument that you just renamed. In our case, it's going to be down in this category that says Track Instruments. And this is why you need to rename it, because you may have many instruments in your project. But if I look at the bottom of this list, I can see my Record Violin track, so I just choose that. If I want to make any other changes, I can do that, but in this case, it's not necessary. Just say Add the track. And you can see it's now created this audio track below my VST instrument. If I play something on my VST instrument and begin recording, it now records that audio from that instrument onto this new audio track. If I need to make a few takes to get it to sound the way I want it to, I can just continue to cycle record till I get what I want. And then when I play back this audio, there is now absolutely no lag, and everything is captured in real time from my performance. Because I set my VST track on the Chord tab to follow the chords, I can continue to just play the same keys, but Cubase will automatically follow the chords for me. One thing that's really fun to do, once you have an option like this set up, is to go through and record many different takes, playing all different kinds of parts, depending on the feel you want, or just looking for that inspiration sound. If I open up my lanes and see in this case, I actually captured 11 different takes. Some of them are repeats, some of them are different variations. And now I can perform a simple operation where I right-click and tell it to create tracks from the lanes, moving to my mute tool. And then I can play through this and audition my other takes and decide if there's any other layers that the inspiration created. This allows you to really capture some of the most realistic orchestral sounds, making the most of what you have in your library. Learning how to control these various rhythmic elements in your project can make all the difference between something that sounds mechanical and a bit lifeless to producing something with lots of emotion and a compelling musical performance. And if you're looking to understand all these different features and functions in Cubase, be sure to click the link in the description of this video or stop by the digitalaudiomanual.com for more information. As always, it's great to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.